this is more for content. This is more for thematic analysis. But I just found the examples really easy to look at. If you get what I mean. Now I can't do. Now, can you see whether you can access this from China?
I think I can do it. Let me check. Yes, I can access it.
Yeah, okay. So if you just have a look through it, right, it gives you a very simplified version, if you like, of what it means to move across the 3 levels of codes.
Move the 3 levels. Yes, but their codes and themes are so simple.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. This gives you a very simple understanding of what it means to code, what it means to group, and what it means to get the final theme. If you are a little bit unsure.
So I need to do the grouping of the codes to the themes now.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, Erin doesn't want you to proceed until she's comfortable that your initial codes are secure. Because the problem is, once you start moving to the next level and the next level up, right? If your codes down at the very basic level is not right or not in sufficient detail, then you lose that along the way. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
In assignment, in your kids 701 assignment,
yeah, last semester.
did you have to do coding?
Could you pardon?
In your research methods assignment with Chuan,
yeah.
did you have to do coding?
The qualitative coding?
Yes, correct.
Yes, I told him that I need to do the coding, but
No. In your assignment,
no, I
in
don't know.
assignment 2, did you have to do coding when you were doing 401, 701?
Yes, we do it.
You did
Yes.
the coding?
Yes.
Yeah. And he was happy with your coding?
No, he said that he's not familiar with the qualitative coding, so so he did not give some advice about it.
Oh, okay. No. I mean your assignment. Somebody must have marked your assignment.
Yes, he marks my assignment. It's 80 marks, but he said that you are the expert of the qualitative analyze, but he just think that my results are simple. He thought that I need some more recommendations. Yeah, but he did not give
So he
advice
didn't
about my coding, the codes.
Are you no, I'm a bit confused now. Are you talking about the lit review and methodology chapter that you have to submit? Or are you talking about the qualitative assignment for 701?
The qualitative assignment for
the assignment, not the lit review and methodology chapter.
yes.
Yeah, so that there's no help there. So if you look at what I have done, I've looked at the first, I don't know, 70 or 80 or 100 codes that you've done. And there are some that I've highlighted in red. I'll just talk you through. And then what you can do is, based on the example that I have, maybe you can check through your codes a little bit more. Where is I need to find your email to look for the link.
The link.
Yeah. Okay. So the reason why I put it in a separate column, it's more of just whether, so that you can determine whether you agree or you don't agree. What I've done is I've just tried I've looked at your quotes and I've looked at the original. I'll just share my screen.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay, so what I've done is I've just looked at your codes, and if I agree with your codes, I've just left it. So these are all blank.
Okay.
Yeah, that means I agree with your codes. The ones that I think are missing a little bit more detail or a little bit of detail, or if I think you have misunderstood the thing, I have written a code at the side. So you just need to check and see whether that is indeed what it means or not. Yeah, because you read the papers, I haven't read the papers. Now, moving down, there's a few in red. So, okay, so if you look at line 42,
Yes.
right, you've got responsibility for the implementation of COVID measures. Now, that is actually a different meaning to following government advice.
Oh, okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Yes,
Like, can
yes.
you see how different the meaning is?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I've highlighted it in red. And there's another one here. Okay, so when you just go COVID information focus, and I think that's the only one code that you have of COVID information focus. I think that is a higher level, not at this level, because you're losing the medical
audience.
practitioners. You're missing the transmission and treatment of COVID.
Okay.
Okay, you have lumped it into an information focus.
Okay.
To me, when I read that code alone, right, that code means that I'm focused on COVID information. But that is not what the text says.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And then I think there's one. So lack of knowledge on COVID prevention is not knowledge of COVID prevention is less worrying. I think what it means.
I'm misunderstanding.
Yeah. Okay. So there's
Yes.
just a few here. So it's probably a lot better than when you first started, but it's just a few here and there that, as you can see, I have found. So this one, I don't know whether you've actually copied and pasted it correctly, so you need to go back and look at the source, but you've written it as distrustful of government COVID information relayed by the media. I couldn't really quote it as to whether consumers do not trust the government information that's relayed by the media, or whether it was something else.
Yeah, when the media transmit the COVID information of government, the consumers think that
They don't trust it?
yes, they don't trust
Yeah,
the
okay.
media.
So instead of saying it's uncredible media relaying COVID information, because that is not what that sentence says.
Okay.
It might be media relays, what is the word? Untrustworthy, distrustworthy. Media relays government COVID information that cannot be trusted, something like that.
Okay.
Okay, do you get what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So and the thing now, and I think you need to be a bit careful is, I'm seeing that, so your research question is, so your research question, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the version that I looked at. what impact has COVID-19 had on consumers' wellness information-seeking behavior on digital social networks? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And first research objective is to develop an understanding of digital social networks available to wellness consumers.
Yes.
Second one is develop an understanding of wellness consumers' digital information-seeking behavior.
Yeah.
And the third one is identify the impact COVID has had on consumer digital information-seeking behavior. Yes? Yeah, okay. So when you are coding, right, you need to code with these objectives in mind. So that at the end of it all, it makes sense and you can tie it together.
Yeah. Yeah, but when I coding, I found that some information is needed, but some of the codes are not needed.
So it's fine. So you'll find that after you've coded however many codes you've got, right? Yeah. And once you start grouping them together, you'll find that some codes don't fit. And that's fine, because those codes that don't fit in the themes that you have, or the whatever you call it, themes that you have arrived at the very end, if they don't fit, you can discard them. Okay. But I think it's important to keep in mind what we are thinking of in terms of the research question and the research objectives. Because ultimately, we are looking at the impact COVID-19 has had on the consumer's wellness information-seeking behavior. So correct me if I'm wrong, but all of these articles are COVID-related, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so your research question was not intended to be 100% COVID-related, was it?
Yeah.
It was supposed to look at just wellness information seeking in before and after COVID, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But I'm sensing that all of these papers, because they're related to COVID, right? Your interpretation of your answers in terms of wellness information seeking will then be related directly to COVID.
Yeah, and for the pre-COVID-19 period literature, we have found like more than 300 pieces of literature. So you suggest me that not to analyze it first, but
we are running out of time, unfortunately. So we are going to need to think of a way to reframe this research such that it focuses on information-seeking behavior in the context of COVID-19. Because as much as I would like to do a comparison pre and post-COVID, you are under very strict time constraints. So did you do any analysis of that literature pre-COVID at all?
No, because I don't know how to filter them again.
Okay, but what you've done in your lit review and in your methodology chapter is you have come up with some information models, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay, so you have got some existing information seeking behavior models
before
pre-COVID.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we're not going to highlight this in the lit review, in your thesis that you've run out of time and so you didn't do this, and this. But what we can do is we can reposition your research, if you like, okay, to go, this is the information seeking behavior models pre-COVID, okay, and we're just going to take that at face value, all right? And then we're going to analyze the information seeking behavior post-COVID, all right, related to COVID-19 information, because that is what all your articles are based on, all right? And then we're going to see if there's any differences between pre and post-COVID. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Does that sound reasonable to you?
So that is the difference between the pre-COVID-19 information seeking behavior model and the analyzed result of our post-COVID-19 literature.
Yes, correct. So the analysis that you're doing now, right, will hopefully provide answers after interpretation as to whether there is a difference in the information seeking behavior. So
Okay.
if you wanted to take that extra step and if you had the time, okay, from your analysis, you could then even come up with a COVID-19 information seeking behavior model, for example, but only if you have the time.
Okay.
Okay? What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, and
You're going to have to write it down because I'm going to forget. I'm going to forget what I've told you.
Yeah, I take notes.
Yeah.
But
so
what information I need to write down in the results chapter?
So your result is just going to be your codes. What are the themes you found, and what are and then you discuss the themes. So that is your result. But after your interpretation, okay, so interpretation is what do these results mean in the context of what I'm looking at. So it could be that after your interpretation, you can find that this is the information seeking behavior model, and after COVID-19, maybe you found something new. Maybe they found like for example, maybe previously people used to believe everything that they read on the internet, right? But now they are skeptical to the information that's provided by the media and all that sort of thing. So I don't know, I'm making things up, but what I'm saying is then you can highlight the differences.
Okay.
That because of COVID and because of the like we talked about fake news in the analysis, we talked about the media exaggerating the information. We talked about things like, people thinking that government-related information is more trustworthy, and all that sort of thing. So all of that can be pulled out to talk about information-seeking behavior. So, it could be, and I'm making things up here. This might not be the conclusion, but I'm making things up. So it could be that you find that, okay, previously people were very reliant on information that was provided by the media in terms of what's going on. But now, they are exercising caution, they are being selective, they are skeptical about the information that's relayed by the media. And they tend to go directly to government websites, or they tend to get information directly from the government's campaigns and things like that, rather than relying on media. Do you get what I mean?
Yes. So
yeah.
The comparison difference between the pre and post, it need to be write down in the discussion chapter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the analysis is essentially what you're doing right now.
Okay.
The comparison is basically your findings.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I see.
Now, this is my perspective. Okay. Erin might disagree, but I don't want to hold you back. So I'm trying to give you a way to move forward here.
Okay.
Okay. And the way I can see you doing that, because you really don't have time to go through 300 papers and go through this whole process again. Yes?
Yeah.
We agree on that. Yeah. Okay. So to move forward, what we can do is we've established the theoretical background of the research, right? We've looked at a few models of information seeking behavior. You might want to pick one out for whatever reason, but you need to justify why you've picked one model. Okay. And then you want to do a comparison of what you found to that model.
Okay.
Okay. And then see if there are any differences. And then what are the implications of that?
And should I modify the methodology chapter to
don't modify the methodology chapter yet, just because I don't know whether Erin is going to say, okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But we don't use the pre-COVID-19 literature, but I have written down that the steps we have done for the pre and post, and I have said that I found like 300 of pre-COVID-19 literature. Should I should I just leave the post-COVID-19 numbers?
So if you're not going to be using the 300 pre-COVID-19 literature, then I suggest you don't include it.
Okay.
I'm just thinking of how we can phrase it such that just thinking here. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to negate all your work in looking for the 300 pieces of literature. But I'm also thinking how best to incorporate it if you haven't actually conducted analysis of it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Your pre-COVID literature, your pre-COVID is from what year to what year?
2010 to now. Yeah.
Oh, 2010 to right about COVID time. So about 10 years.
Yes, and the wellness information seeking behavior is the most of them are about the specific disease. So the literature number is so much for it, but there are few to analyze the wellness information seeking behavior for the
everything else.
How to say it? They don't written to find out the behavior of all people do with what types of wellness information they want.
Okay.
Yes, they just about the specific disease, like the
okay,
pregnant.
so they're looking for like say for
yes.
example, if they've got heart disease or whatever, then they're looking for specific information relating to heart disease.
So
because when you think about a COVID-19 literature, right, they're all related to a particular disease as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Your information's and you haven't done any analysis on that at all?
Yeah, because we can't minimize the number of literature.
Yeah, okay. Can I then suggest you don't, so the methodology that you've got at the moment, right, that talks about the 300 articles, okay, keep that as one version, okay, don't delete that, keep that as one version. And in your revised methodology, okay, take out the 300 articles and write what we talked about.
Okay, so keep the old version to
keep the old version just in case Erin goes, no, you cannot exclude the 300 articles.
Okay.
Because I don't want you to write your methodology 5 times over. So if you've already got a methodology that Erin's gone, yes, that's good to go, because that was what she said a couple of weeks ago, didn't she? She said she's happy with your methodology. Then keep that, okay? Certainly keep that, just in case. But and frankly, Ishan, if you've got other things to do, I wouldn't worry about the methodology first. Okay, if you are really stuck and you want to do something with your methodology, then but that will be the last thing that I'll ask you to do. Okay. Because Erin is your primary supervisor. She needs to approve these changes.
Okay.
Okay. Can I suggest that also to help you conceptualize what we've talked about today, can you please write an email? Okay, and send it through and say that because of time constraints, okay, these I've advised you to ditch the 300 articles before COVID, okay, and then document what we've talked about and send her an email and see whether she's happy with it.
Okay.
Okay, because then if she goes, yes, that's fine, then you can move forward. Meanwhile, with your coding, I'm a bit concerned about making you run rounds in your coding, but unfortunately with coding, Ishan, that's what all of us do. I have been reduced to tears when I've had to code because it's just very, very frustrating. You think that you've done such a good job, you go to your supervisor and they go, oh, this is not right, that is not right. I have had major issues with coding, okay? So I'm trying not to put you through what Erin and I have gone through ourselves.
I think that qualitative coding is so hard.
It is. It's very challenging. And unfortunately, because people code differently,
yeah.
It's hard for me to tell you need to do it this way, because it's not going to be consistent in the 5,000 codes that you come up with, unfortunately. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I've done here is I've given you more examples here. So I've gone through about 100 of your codes and I've given you a little bit more examples and I've tried to highlight bits whereby I think you're a little bit off, as well. So it's important to get that going, if you get what I mean. And once you've got that going, to group it and to put it up into themes, it's not that difficult. And once you get to themes, and if your spreadsheet, okay, is such that it can clearly link back to all your original codes, then writing up the analysis is not going to be hard. Because you're going to be able to see from this theme, where did I get my codes from and what is the source? So that should not be overly difficult. The crux of it is to get all your initial codes now, right? Accurate, if you like.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm not asking you to do it all over again. Okay.
Yeah.
But like you can just go through and just make sure that the code actually means what it says, because it is a lot better. Don't get me wrong, it is a lot better than when you first attempted it.
Okay.
Okay, but there is always room for improvement, and the tighter we can get it, the better it is.
Okay.
Okay, so things like credible. I can't speak. Credible government information, scientific government, all these types of things. You've got a lot of COVID information sources and all that sort of thing. That will potentially just go through to the thing, potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like there are others. So you can see like from some of it, it is still quite at a low level. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to jump too quickly, because then you lose all the detail. So some of it is still relatively low level. Some of it you can possibly already see the themes that will come out of it. Yeah. So what you need to do now is you need to work through those at a relatively low level. And when you're working through it, think about how you can group them. Okay, so that you don't waste time. I'm asking you to do two things at one time. Okay, as you're going through the codes, because this is the second or third time you're going through the codes now. So as you're going through the codes, okay, at the back of your head, think how you're going to group them.
Okay.
All right, that might help you speed things up a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Is there anything else? Any questions you have? Have you got enough to do at least for the next few days?
Yes. So I need to look through the initial codes to make sure that it's clear and right, and
Yeah.
think how to group the labels.
Yeah. So if you wanted to, so say for example, if you have finished checking column B, okay, what I might get you to do actually, no, when you finish column B, send us an email and let us know. And then what I might get you to do is to, so you know how Erin said, you just basically copy and paste it to the next sheet. Yeah. So after you've copied and pasted it to the next sheet, you need to think about how you're going to group them. So what you can look at doing is, so like I said, right, you can, when you are looking at accuracy, you also have to think about how you're going to group it. So you can give me some examples if you can. Okay, so once you've finished column B, cut and paste column B into sheet 3. Okay, and give me some examples of how you think you're going to group them. I don't want you to go through all however many lines of code that you have. I just want you to provide me with a few examples. So say maybe the first 50.
Okay.
Okay, so that you don't go spending all that time doing it again, and then we tell you it's wrong, and then you're going to do it all again. Okay, so do the first 50 or the first 100, but don't go through the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So do the first 50 or the first 100. If you're finding that you can find labels that are repeated in the first 50, then that's good, because then I can see how it's grouped. But if you find that you cannot find labels that are repeated in the first 50, you might have to go to the first 100 or something. Okay, just so that I can then see this is how you have grouped your labels, and this is how you group your codes, and this is the label that you've assigned to it.
Okay. And the themes need to connect to the research question and objectives.
You will have that at the back of your head as you're thinking of your things.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. So send us an email. I would say sooner rather than later. We might, like, seriously, I think we might have to ask for an extension for you. But let's worry about that. Work to the deadline. Okay. But I think we might have to request for an extension and all that sort of thing, so that it gives us time to read.
Okay.
Your final document. That's the only thing, because you want to do a PhD, and I want to give you every chance to be able to do a PhD. Yeah.
And how about the final presentation of the thesis? I know that there will be a presentation.
There is, but I think historically I can't remember whether the presentation is also can be extended as well if you've got a thesis extension. I can't remember. But let's worry about that next week. Okay. But can you please just remember that that's one of the items that we need to talk about, whether an extension needs to be looked at, and also what are the implications of that on your presentation and things like that.
So should I ask for an extension now from Sarah?
Is it week 13 or week 14? Your
13?
presentation is week 14, isn't it?
Let me check.
I think it's usually sort that, the presentation.
I cannot access to the Milo now. Maybe I will check it and send you an email
Yeah.
later.
Okay. Yeah. Not a problem. So just yeah, so document what we've said, and then send Erin and myself an email.
Okay.
Just so that it's sitting in her mailbox for whenever she's ready to have a look at it, because she's
Okay.
quite upset at the moment. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
That's yeah, unfortunate, but yeah, these things happen, unfortunately. Cool. All right. Is there anything else?
If I have more question, I will write down in the email.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Do that. And if you need just a quick clarification or anything, just get me on chat. I'm on Zoom all the time, so just get me on chat. The likelihood of me responding instantly on chat is much higher than me responding on emails.
Okay.
Because I've got like gazillion emails sitting on sitting in my email box.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. So I will leave you to it. Good luck. And remember, once you get column B sorted, and you're able to group them into some codes in column C, say 50 to 100 codes.
Okay.
Send us an email so that we can look at it.
Okay.
All good?
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
Okay. Thank you for your help.
Talk to you soon. No worries. Bye.
Okay. Bye.